We are living in unprecedented and uncertain times. Thriving in the New Normal is my new TV show created just for you. Are you aware that while most people are surviving during this new normal, others are thriving like never before? Which one are you? Circumstances have never defined the person. Our responses do. What if you could experience the thoughts and behaviors of some of the most successful people in the world and how they have chosen to respond? Let us help you become the person you were destined to be and not just your current reality. You deserve it. Get ready to thrive. Watch my show now on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and Google Play.
Hi, and welcome to the Best You Day 2 in London. Thank you so much for joining us. We're super excited you're here. My name is Sarah Davison. I am known as the divorce coach, helping people cope with all kinds of breakup, separation, and divorce. So I discovered NLP many, many years ago. In fact, 25 years ago when I learned from Richard Bandler. So do check out his video that will be coming up today as well. He is the founder of NLP. He created it. He's incredible. And the Best You Run training courses. So you can also take the same course I took back 20 years ago. Yeah, a long time ago. So, yeah, I am here because I have been a very dear friend of Bernardo Moya, who is the founder of the Best You Expo and everything the Best You. Bernardo has been a very dear friend of mine for such a long time now. So he has invited me to host today. So I will be here live in the Masters, Mentors and Influencers stage to host the day, to introduce the speakers. And oh my goodness, do we have an incredible day for you today. Bernardo has excelled himself. The team behind the scenes are incredible. So do make sure you're tuned in today because you are going to learn from some of the best coaches. There are going to be some incredible insights, lots of tools and tips that you can take and implement right now, right today in your life. So it's going to make a positive difference. And boy, do we need it right now. I mean, with everything that's going on right now, I know how tough it can be. And obviously my coaching clinic has been super busy with a lot of breakups, a lot of people finding that the pressure from the pandemic is just pushing them over the edge, which is why tuning in today and tomorrow as well to get access to personal development information from the leaders in the field from all over the globe is a great place to be for you. Because what we're going to do is we're going to be feeding your brain with great, uplifting, positive information. And as you probably know, what you put in your brain is what you're going to get out. So if you're putting in some empowering information that's going to help you get up and make some changes in your life, take some action, maybe just give you some insight from the sofa that things actually are going to be okay. You can cope and you're going to get through this and come out stronger than ever before, then wow, what an opportunity. So the team have put together an incredible show. I've been involved with the Best You since the Best You Expo since the very first one many years ago, which was in London as well. So this is the hometown, this is the homecoming. That was back in the days when we were allowed to see people and have exhibition stands. And, you know, it was one of those where you'd have so many exhibition stands with the best speakers. It was incredible. I made so many friends from the journey. And there's so much information. You know, today you're going to be learning so many different things from health and well-being, how to cope with relationships, managing your wealth, your spiritual well-being. You're going to learn so many things today, covering all aspects of your life. So it's a great place to be. So we started out, the Best You started out in London, and then it went to LA, which was awesome. And I spoke out in LA too, and the team were incredible. We had such amazing speakers. I mean, I saw Mastin Kipsby, there was Les Brown, there was some incredible people. So, you know, these are cutting edge events and you are in the right place today. So yes, whether it's grey outside or sunny, wherever you are in the world, it is a great place to be, to absorb some powerful information. And it's evolved over a long period of time. And I'm fortunate enough to have been involved in that journey. And as I said, I'm a great friend of Bernardo, and I've promised him I'm not going to share any of his his secrets on today, that I'm here to host the show, not to tell secrets, but I might do later. Who knows? Let's see how the day goes. But yeah, I'm going to be here to support and to help and to just get the speakers on, and we're going to have great fun today together. So I'm really looking forward to introducing you to some of these amazing speakers. So should we have a look at who is coming up? Now we have the amazing Michelle O'Neill. Now, Michelle O'Neill is an attorney, and she's got over 20 years of experience practicing family law. So I don't do law, I do the emotional side of the breakup. So I help people redesign their lives after a breakup. Whereas obviously you need a family lawyer a lot of the time to hold you by the hand for the legal journey. And so obviously no one better than Michelle May O'Neill, and she acknowledges that divorce has to be one of the most difficult processes that her clients ever have to go through, which is why she offers a very compassionate service and a trusted legal counsel. So whether your situation calls for an uncontested or a contested divorce, the team is prepared to represent you. So whether there's children involved or the divorce is more complicated, then Michelle can help you, whether it's child custody, visitation, or paternity issues. She is there. So she will be coming up at 11 o'clock to talk to you, which is going to be amazing. And it's always good to get different perspectives for things. So even if you're not going through a divorce right now, you will learn information from her that will really help you in different areas, because hey, we have conflict in all areas, don't we? Now I know right now with the with the situation with COVID, it's putting a lot of pressure on people. And in my job, I help people to cope better with the emotional roller coaster that we go through after a breakup. So whether that's heartbreak, devastation, conflict, parenting, self-confidence. I mean, it's normal, right, that your confidence takes a massive hit after a breakup. Your self-esteem may be low, maybe your self-resilience, maybe you're being very codependent on your partner now they're not around anymore. So all these things are challenging when you go through a breakup, as is creating a future you're excited to live. So I actually run a coaching clinic. You can come and see me one-to-one or over Zoom at the moment, obviously. I also run retreats. I have virtual Heartbreak to Happiness retreats. I also have a podcast called Heartbreak to Happiness, which is on iTunes. It's a new and noteworthy show. It's been doing super well. I've interviewed Bernardo Moya, who is the founder of Best You, on there, because obviously Bernardo has been through a divorce himself not so long ago. So he does talk very openly and honestly about that. So if you want to find out more about Bernardo, some of those secrets I talked about earlier, they are revealed in my podcast, Heartbreak to Happiness. As there are other speakers like Jason Vale, who's a great buddy of mine. You probably know him best as the Juice Master. Now, he is incredible. He starred a lot in the Best You shows as well. He's always speaking and taking part. So Jason is also interviewed on there as well. I also train people. And I spoke yesterday at the Best You. On the very stage that I'm introducing people to today, I was speaking on how to grow a coaching business how to grow a successful coaching business that you love. Because obviously you've got to love what you do, okay? And if you love what you do, then it becomes less of a job, more of a lifestyle. And if you're in that lane in your life where you're truly fulfilled, then that's how you get to being a truly successful coach. So I talk about that as well. I train people to become breakup and divorce coaches and and also any coach to run a successful coaching business. So I've built a global brand. I'm often in the press, the media, the TV, radio, magazines, just talking as a go-to expert on how to cope with a breakup. So that's a bit about me. The Best You has been an absolute catapult for my business. So if you're a coach out there, you're looking to branch out, maybe thinking about starting to speak or becoming a coach, then the Best You has so many programs that will help you to do that. So you can partner to the Best You. You can go to thebestyou.co to partner with the Best You. They have so many opportunities right now for everybody. And for those of you here today, we are doing some giveaways, which is super exciting. So the Best You are actually giving away 100, yes, 100, the Best You online 1-year memberships. And how cool is that? They're giving away today. It's worth nearly $16,000 worth of prizes they're giving away. But you have to be here. You have to be in the workshops. And they're going to be announcing the winners every day. So we're going to announce some this afternoon as well. So you've got to tune in, you've got to stay tuned in, you've got to listen, and maybe you could win that. Now, Bernardo Moya as well, the man behind the whole program, the whole expo, is giving away 1,000, yes, you heard me right, 1,000 audio copies of his bestseller book, The Question. Now, it's an awesome book. I know it because I've read it, and there's also a quote from me on the cover. So you want to check it out because it is great. But Bernardo is also not only the brains and the entrepreneur behind The Best You, he's also written his book here, The Question. Find your true purpose. You can get it for free. He's giving away his free audio. So we're giving away that. There's $15,000 worth of free audio copies. You can't live without this book. It's life-changing. I love it. It's something that I've incorporated in what I share with my coaches because it's such a powerful guide to controlling what's going on in here. You know, he talks so much about what you think is what you get. You know, like I was saying earlier, if you put in empowering, if you ask yourself disempowering questions, guess what? You're going to get disempowering answers. So for a lot of my clients, they're saying, what's wrong with me? Why is my life so rubbish? Why am I finding this so hard? So those kind of questions are going to give you negative responses. So what we want to do is shift that around. And we want to put in empowering questions because, yeah, you've got it. It's going to lead to more empowering answers. Now, they might not be the right answers, but if you ask yourself a question like, what can I do right now to make this better? Oh my goodness, is that the man himself? I'm just talking about you and your book and how amazing you are. And then he appeared.
My ears were burning. My ears were burning. So here I am.
Oh, or was it because I said I might share some of your secrets later on in the day? I was going to see how it went.
I did hear that. I actually got a text message that said you better show out MMI quickly. Listen, I just wanted to come and say hi, darling, because I realized I did a quick introduction to Janie Lee, who's actually on the main stage right now. And I just wanted to come and say hi to you. And thank you so much for your friendship, for your support, for all the amazing work that you've done all over the years. And you helped so many people, even going through your own personal challenges. And I just want to say kudos to you because, you know, you're the genuine deal, Sarah Davis.
Thank you, Bernardo. It's always fun to come and be part of The Best You. I mean, I was there at the first one. Do you remember that Excel with it was freezing in there? Do you remember that day?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
So cold. But it was busy, it was packed, and it really was life-changing for so many people. It was the first big personal development show that we've had in the UK. So, you know, you are amazing, bringing all this to everybody. You know, I'm so excited to be part of it. You're just, I've never met anyone like you, Bernardo. You've got so many things going on. Now tell us about The Best You TV, because that is the new project, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, actually, you know what? I got a little flashback. I forgot how cold it was in that first event. I remember we had to tell them to close the doors. It was in January, obviously London freezing. Oh my God. Yeah, I remember it was an XL, big, massive space we hired. Yeah. So listen, you've been at, if not all of them, nearly all of them. You even joined us in Long Beach in California. So yeah, I'm very thankful for that. You've seen the whole journey of The Best You, and I remember I pitched you, and there you were supporting us. So thank you for your support. So yeah, listen, it's been an interesting journey, hasn't it? It's been you know, interesting for everyone, and you know, this virtuality of running events is very different to live, isn't it? And there's so many people doing all sorts of things. So it's very difficult to keep people focused and centered in attending what we want them to attend. So kind of like, you know, I kind of got it quite quickly that, you know, online or virtually isn't good enough. You know, we got to do something different and do something, which is always what I've always wanted to do. So very excited about The Best You TV and where it's going and taking all this, you know, great content. We got, you know, loads of talks of yours there and hundreds of thousands of speakers now. And the idea is to put it on television and give people the opportunity to watch it on demand, like, you know, like you watch your Netflix, you know, watch it whenever you want, when you want to watch it in the comfort of your home. And there's a different feel, isn't it, to watching something on your phone, on your laptop, and actually sitting down with the remote and watching it. So yeah, we're very excited about that.
Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait. And you've got some great people lined up for your show already, haven't you? I know you've got three channels that are they up and running already?
Yes, so we've got obviously our channels up and running. We've got the Best You Expo Talks. We have the Inspiring People interviews, the NLP Live Talks. So those are all channels, you know, playlists that we have already available. And we now, Dr. Fabrizio Mancini, he's got his show there already, which is the Thriving in the New Normal. He interviews all sorts of great people. And then we've got, Mas Sajadi joining us as well with his own show, and Nicola Smith-Jackson. But there's so many more people coming and having their own channels. You're going to have one you just don't know yet. But yes.
I'm in. I'm there to support you every step of the way. I think one of the things that people maybe watching don't realize is that, there really wasn't a way to access personal development information anywhere really like the platform you've created. And actually, going to an expo was the first real thing that people could go and access this information. And do you remember when we started out many years ago, like when I met you over 20 odd, maybe more years ago, it was a bit of a stigma to the sort of yeehaw, clappy brigades that we used to be branded as. But now people recognize they are essential life tools, and they can really massively improve your life. And it's not just, it covers every area of our lives, doesn't it? So the fact that it's now coming to our homes, you can just turn it on, click of a button, rather than having to spend hours reading books or doing the seminars, traveling the world like you and I did back in the day. Now it's all right there. Just sit down on the sofa.
Absolutely. And, funny enough, I was sharing a post this morning, inviting people to come along. And because, when we bring so many great people. I mean, you look at the caliber of people we brought throughout the years. And sometimes it shocks me to see that not more people attend. And I get it, there's probably a lot going on in people's lives. But I ended the post by saying, don't be a know-it-all, and the problem is that a lot of people, I know that. No, you don't, and the thing is that there's always something new to learn. I'm very into cryptocurrency and trading these last year or couple of years because I understand the importance of being financially independent. If anything, now more than ever, I'm really exploring. We had a discussion, one of the panels around love, and we're going to be talking about that later. And I want to run a big event around women and empowering women, the 21st century. So I think we all have to be open to really learning more and new and different things, because that's what I've always tried to bring to the expo is a variety of things, from people, talking about dolphins and crystals and, people that are very spiritual, and then those talk about money and social media, and love and relationships. And that's what I've always wanted to bring. Everybody says, it has to be niche. No, it doesn't. Personal professional growth has to be open to as many people as possible in any aspect of whatever that means to them.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm secretly hoping that people aren't just going to listen. They're actually going to do something with the information, because it's easy to sit there during the pandemic, isn't it? We're all in lockdown in the UK here. So, sit there on your sofa and just go, this is interesting. But actually the magic happens when you actually take action, right?
Mm. Yeah, absolutely. I was saying that there must be a note universe out there, where all these notes go to and live in an afterlife, because everyone makes notes, and you see them there, and I've seen them at the seminars, and so have you. They make those notes, what do you do with those notes? And they just end up in a drawer, and 16 years later, their son finds it because they passed away and throw it in the rubbish. So it's about taking action. Do you know what I mean? It's about taking action and doing things. Yeah, absolutely.
Even just one small thing, that's when I started out going to the Tony Robbins events when I was 20. I mean, just one small thing can completely change your life. And the NLP program that you guys run, that was life-changing for me. Gosh, it was 20 years ago I did that course, which is insane. And I'm a total NLP geek here, so I love it. But just even one of those tools can help you dial down some of those negative emotions. And let's face it, we're all struggling right now, right? Mental health is a big issue with COVID. So any of those things, just one thing, if you take one thing from today and implement it, actually do something with it, then it will make a difference, won't it?
It does. Yeah, absolutely. And then again, just be open to learning. And you've seen that in many courses. I've seen it. I remember I've had so many beautiful stories. I remember my, the first expo and then the last expo. I shared a story that I went out to the front door on day one of that expo that was freezing, and I went outside and there was 10 people and 6 of them were part of my crew, and there was only 4 in the door. I thought, oh my God, am I going to die now? What's happening? There's no one here. Oh my God. And then, then 4 years later or 5 years later in Olympia, I went out because we were running a bit late to open the door. I went out and I couldn't see the end of the queue. So I had to go to the other side of the pavement. And there was at least 2,500 people. It looked like a rock concert. And Bernardo just freaked out. Said, oh my God, but I was so excited. I didn't even photograph it. But, over the years, people have come and said, look, you know what? I came here and I learned something from someone. It really changed my life. And you know what, now we're here speaking or exhibiting. There's my business card. I wanted to thank you. So it's been great to see, you know, the ripple effect of that it's had, you know, all the people that we've impacted. But for me, we're still not doing enough. You know, we need to do more. We need to think bigger. We need to reach more people. That's the objective.
There's the entrepreneur spirit that I love and I know well. There's always the next level. There's always something else that you're working on to help people. But that's the great thing. I mean, everything you do does actually have a positive impact on the world. And it's nice to be in a career that does that, isn't it? I mean, for all those coaches watching, you know, coaching and doing what you do is really making a difference.
Well, thank you so much, darling. So listen, I just wanted to come and say hi. I wanted to thank you so much for being here, for hosting today. And again, as I said, congratulations on all the great work that you do on, you know, helping people through probably the most challenging and difficult, you know, things that they will ever go through in their life, which is what you do on a daily basis. And then also, on the other hand, training and coaching those people to have the skills that you have, because you're very, very skillful. And I know you were just literally running a retreat virtually as well. So I'm very grateful that you made the time to be here, Sarah. Thank you so much.
Oh, no, thank you. All right, honey. Well, hopefully I'll see you later, and hopefully I won't spill too many personal secrets for Bernardo. We shall see. But wow, he joined us, which is amazing. He's the big guy behind the scenes. He's the guy that makes it all happen. He is amazing, as you can see. So much passion. And I guess that is one of the secrets, isn't it? To be that passionate about life. So it'd be great if I could just show you, you know, he's talking about the Best You TV. We do have some adverts about that. So maybe we can run some short adverts just to show you a little bit about what the Best You TV is, because it's a great opportunity. And I really want you guys to fully experience this while we're here. So let's run a little ad to show you all about the Best You TV, a great opportunity. That's going to come up in just a second.
My passion is to set people free by helping you transform any area of your life more effectively and faster than anything you've tried before. I do this by unique abilities gifted to me through 2 near-death experiences that allow me to help you change your frequency, changing your life.
Wow, did you see that? Amazing. So many opportunities. And as Bernardo said, that I'm going to be doing that as well. So having your own TV show, amazing, right? So you just tune in though. If you want to have your own show, you can do that. And Bernardo will show exactly how to make it super easy for you. That's the beauty of what him and his team behind the scenes, who high five to all you guys back there who are making this possible, because it is a huge thing to pull together, as you can imagine. We have coaches lined up from all over the world just waiting to come and speak to you and share their knowledge and tips. So the team who've coordinated it over the last few months and are pulling it together, you know, wow, what an amazing job the team are doing. So let's not forget them. A little round of applause for them behind the scenes, and the producers who are just making it all happen, which is obviously incredible. And we have the speakers lined up. So we're going to, in about a minute, we're going to run an ad, and then we are going to hear from the amazing Michelle O'Neill. She's talking today, and I can't wait to hear what she's got to say. Obviously, there's a lot of synergy between what she does and I do, so that's super exciting. So she's coming up in 5 minutes, so don't go anywhere. We really want you to tune in and listen to her, get all her information, because she is brilliant. I absolutely can't wait. I'm going to run you a little ad about Joe Polish in a minute, who is also incredibly inspirational. So these, just be ready today. Get your notepad out, get a pen, because, you know, you don't need to take notes on everything, but the things that resonate for you, jot them down. You know, keep them, because they are going to make a massive difference to your life. Today is when everything starts to change for the better, okay? Today is where you're going to learn some stuff, and you're going to look back in a couple of months, couple of years and go, But today, my life changed for the better. So we're going to run an ad, stay with us, and then come back to watch Michelle.
Are you sick and tired of struggling to get your career to where you want it to be? Working with the right coach can be a life-changing experience, and Bernardo Moya is changing lives all over the world. Learn how to create revenue streams, attract higher qualified clients consistently, market your brand, and promote your business to a global audience. Bernardo is one of the biggest names in the world of personal development. He is an entrepreneur, an author, a speaker, and a founder and chief inspirational officer of the Best You Corporation. So fast-track your career now.
Someone just started or finished uni or just lost their job, mid-40s, what is the best advice you would give them to kind of move forward, reinvent themselves?
Boy, if you just lost your job, first off, you don't want to be in a worry state. Like in Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People and How to Stop Worrying and Start Living, 2 amazing books. What I would do is get yourself in a confident state and take action, okay? You can sit, what am I worrying about is the question. What am I worrying about? Because what keeps people from doing stuff and taking actions is they've lost their confidence. And 2 things that entrepreneurs really need to protect is they need to protect their confidence, because you just operate better in life in a state of confidence, and their gratitude, having gratitude for what it is you have. So if you've just lost your job and you're in a desperate situation, then you have to make yourself resourceful. And so there's resources readily available to you in the area that you already have expertise in, so you may need to immediately go back into that sort of skill set or position. If you know how to solve problems, there are, like, what is a entrepreneur? You know, like the original definition of an entrepreneur, 1804, John Baptiste Say said, it was the first time they used the word entrepreneur in recorded history that we have documentation of, said an entrepreneur is an individual that takes resources from a lower level of productivity to a higher level. So start thinking like an entrepreneur. How do you solve problems for a profit? So you have a skill set, you can solve problems. Who has those problems that will pay you money to solve those things? If I lost my job and I had skills, I would go to someone and say, I will work for you for free for a week, for 2 weeks. Give me your number one problem in this area that I know how to solve. If I can solve it, you pay me or you hire me. And secondly, I would just probably watch all the interviews that you've done, start studying people, because people like me and other people can hopefully kick your inspiration in the gear. And when you're in a motivated, inspiring state, you're going to go out there, kick ass and take names and ask for help. You know, call your friends, say, who's my genius network? Who can guide me and direct me to resources that are going to make my life better? A not to-do list is more important than a to-do list in many cases. So it's not what you say yes to, it's what you say no to, because everything you say yes to, you're saying no to something else. If you say yes to being on Facebook for 2 hours, you might be saying no to spending that time with your children. If you're going to say yes to watching TV, you're going to say no to, you know, maybe exercise. And if you say yes to staying up late, surfing the internet or looking at porn online, you're saying no to sleeping. So that, you know, there's a lot of stuff that people say yes to that isn't serving them, and they wonder why their life is not where they're at. And I'll tell you, it's not a choice at all, because sometimes these are compulsions, which is what addiction is. So yeah, I think what you're doing and what you're providing, people can learn so much just by absorbing the lessons that people are saying, but don't just hear them. You have to pick people that you resonate with, things that you hear, and instead of going shallow with it, go deep. And if there's anything I did, I went really deep with marketing, and I learned it, I applied it, I got a result, and it's changed my life, and it's changed the lives of tens of thousands of other people too.
The Best You TV, a TV channel with only the best business leaders and influencers ready to help you rise to the top. Available now on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and Google Play. Learn and grow from in-depth interviews, documentaries, inspirational talks, and motivational masterclasses from the world's biggest thought leaders, speakers, teachers, authors, coaches, and highly successful business gurus. The Best You TV is now live.
Hey, it's exciting. She's coming up, Michelle O'Neill. She is speaking to us. Her talk is 86,400 seconds in each day, living a life by design. So let me tell you a bit about her. Attorney Michelle May O'Neill has over 20 years of experience in practicing family law. And she acknowledges that divorce might be one of the most difficult experiences that her clients ever have to go through. Yeah, totally is, right? Which is why she offers her compassionate service and trusted legal counsel. Whether your situation calls for an uncontested or contested divorce, her team is prepared to represent you. So when children are involved, divorce becomes more complicated. That's why the firm offers their services for those who need assistance for matters like child custody, visitation, and paternity. So enjoy Michelle's talk.
Hi, everybody. So, this year has been the year of years, right? I mean, hashtag 2020 is going to go down in history as just something that we've never expected and, hopefully never will see again in the same ways. But that doesn't excuse us from achieving goals. That doesn't excuse us from still pressing forward on doing the things that we want to do. It doesn't excuse us from setting those goals. Maybe they look different this year than they looked when you started the year. But even in the down times, even in the bad times, we still have to move forward. So I'm going to talk to you today about how to live a life by design. Each one of us gets 86,400 seconds each and every day. And we get to decide how we're going to spend every one of those seconds, every one of them. And I have the same number of seconds in my day that you have in your day and that Beyonce has in her day. I mean, you think of the people that achieve the most in their days. Maybe they have the money to have a lot of people help them. I'll give Beyonce that. But every day we get up with the same number of seconds in the day. And we have to fit in a lot every day, right? We have to fit in hopefully working out and sleeping and spending time with family and working and paying the bills and going to the grocery store and doing the laundry. And how in the world do we fit in to all of those kind of mundane, routine things that we have to do every day? How do we fit into that, still making steps and strides toward achieving our goals? So I have a 4-step process. I have a handout, but somehow I don't know how to share it with you. So if you want a handout, a copy of my handout, go to my website at Michelle May O'Neill, ONEIL.com, and shoot me a little email on my contacts thing, and I'll send you the handout. So 4-step process for living your life by design. What's the opposite of living a life by design? Living a life blowing in the wind. Today the wind blows this way, and today the wind blows that way. And if you let the wind blow you around, then you're going to get 10 or 20 years down the road and go, I wish that I had achieved that goal. I wish that I had done more. I wish that I had done something different. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to get 10 or 20 years down the road and go, man, I wish, and live with regrets. So would you rather live a life by design or live with regrets? So step 1 in this process, step 1, where have you been? You've got to look in the rearview mirror. Now, there's a reason why the rearview mirror is small and the front window is big, because we're going to spend more of our time looking forward. But the first step in living your life by design is a self-evaluation of where have you been in that rearview mirror. I want you to think about the last year. Now, maybe the 2020 last year isn't the year to look at. Maybe you want to look at 2019. But look in your rearview mirror and evaluate, what are the 3 best things that happened to you in the last year? In the last 12 months, I want you to name 3 really great things that happened to you. Now, this year, you're going to tell me, oh, Michelle, I don't know. This has been a weird year and there's not much good happening in the world. Well, that may be, but we all have something to be grateful for. So what are some things that you could be grateful for, even in the last 12 months, even in the light of a pandemic? So list 3 things that are the best things that happened in the last year. Then the opposite of that, right? I want you to list the 3 worst things that happened in the last year. What are 3 things that you wish that you could change? So when you're listing worst things, I mean, there may be some really crappy things that have happened this year that you had no control over. Maybe those aren't what we want to look at. We want to look at things that you had some control over that you could change. So what are the 3 worst things that could happen that you wish you could change? Now, the next thing about this, I want you to list some of the goals. Did you set any goals for yourself in the last year? And if so, what were they? What were the goals that you set for yourself in the last year? And then evaluate how you did. Did you achieve them? Did you have a plan? Did you work the plan? Did you achieve those goals? Or did you somehow miss the mark? And if you missed the mark, I want you to look at and think about very carefully what you could have done to do better. What could you do to improve on achieving those goals last year? I mean, for me, one of my goals every year, probably yours too, it's a very common goal, is physical fitness. And so if I were to look at the last year and talk about goals unachieved, one of those would be in the physical fitness realm. And if I looked at things that I could have done to make achievement of those goals more likely, I can tell you, like getting up every morning at an earlier time to make time to work out in that otherwise pile of mundane tasks that we have to do every day. Getting up earlier, focusing a little bit more on my healthy eating, on planning my meals. Those are some things I could have done in the last year to do better on my physical fitness goals. But what were your goals and what were some things that you could have done better? And then last, I want you to analyze, who were the 3 most influential people in your life in the last year? My mama always said, if you lay down with dogs, you get up with fleas. Now, that's just me from being from Dallas and giving you a little Texas wisdom there. But the point of that is that you are a product of the people that you hang out with, good or bad. If you hang out with people who are constantly negative, who are scared of a fly, well, that may not be the best analogy anymore, will it? But who are scared of their shadow, who are just toxic, negative, and encourage you that you can't achieve things, then those are not the people that you want to have influencing you in your life. On the other hand, if the 3 most influential people in your life are people that inspire you and motivate you, who get up every day with achievement of goals in mind, I mean, those are the kind of people that you want to be around, because those people will encourage you to be better. So if you look at your past year and the 3 people that were the most influential on you in the last year, and those 3 people were not the kind of people that encourage you to achieve your goals, or maybe they're even just affirmatively toxic. I mean, maybe they're just toxic people and bring a lot of negativity in your life. And if that's the case, then you need to start thinking about how to change Not necessarily get rid of those friends or family that you've had, but how to change the people of influence. Maybe you need to get a mentor. Maybe you want to start hanging out more with this person and hanging out less with that person. So maybe you need a plan for improving the 3 most influential people in your life. But how do you know that if you don't analyze it? So analyze who those 3 most influential people were in your life, and take that rear view mirror glimpse into your last year so that you know where you've been. Because after all, if you don't know where you've been, how do you know where you're going? Second step in living a life by design: evaluate where you are now. Now, to me, this is the most important step. I try to do this step every year in the week between Christmas and New Year's. I try to do this, where have you been and where are you now, evaluation, and really basically this entire process. I try to do this every year between Christmas and New Year's. Now, this year has been such a crazy year with so much that's been unexpected. So I've actually gone through this process every quarter, looking at where have I been in this quarter and where do I want to go and how do I want to get there. So this is a very important step to evaluate where you are right now. And this has to be a thorough self-evaluation. And frankly, you have to be fair with yourself. I mean, you've got to be honest. If you aren't honest with yourself, I mean, who else is going to be that honest with you, right? So we're going to self-evaluate our current state of things. Now, this isn't just about looking at little bitty portions of your life. This is about looking at the whole thing. I do a lot of business coaching for women in business. And so we get hyper focused over here on business, on one part of the life. But really, you can't be successful in business. You can't be successful in one area of your life if the rest of it's falling apart. As Crystal said, I am a divorce lawyer. And so I see people who are in crisis in their family. They're in crisis in parts of their life. And it's very hard for people that I am helping through the divorce process to be a success over here in their career, because you have to have some balance. So what I do is I look at it on the wheel of life. Now, there have been many motivational speakers that have talked about the wheel of life. I'm not the first. I didn't create it, but it's so great. So basically, there are 7 main spokes on the wheel of life. Those are your fitness or your health, fitness, health. 2, finances. 3, your family spoke. 4, your field or your career. 5, faith. 6, friends. And 7, fun. So we've basically put it into 7 F's, okay? And the book that I follow on the Wheel of Life is called OOLA, O-O-L-A, Live an OOLA Life. In other words, to live a well-balanced life that is moving forward. So fitness, finance, family, field, faith, friends, and fun. 7 areas of life. Now, I want you to go through each of those areas and evaluate how you're doing. Look at your fitness spoke. Now, when we talk about fitness spoke, we're not just talking about, did you get up and exercise this morning? We're talking about kind of that whole realm of personal health. Where are you on your personal health? Are you eating healthy? Have you gone to your doctor's appointments? Did you, if you're a 50-year-old woman like I am, did you get your mammogram this year? Are you getting enough exercise? Are you moving every day? The tide of aging, it is a relentless tide that comes in every day. And if you don't fight that tide of aging, eventually it will catch up to you. So are you moving every day? Are you doing all of those things, those self-care, health, fitness, nutritional things that make you the best you physically that you can be? So are you at a weight that you want to be at? Do you feel like you need to lose some weight? Are you up to date on your medical? Are you eating healthy? Are you, doing all of those things? Rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 where you're at today on health and fitness. All right, next, finances. Man, this is a hard one this year, right? I mean, there have been so many people that have taken a hit on their finances, whether they got laid off, whether they had to take a pay cut. Businesses have struggled in this pandemic time. And when businesses struggle, then their employees struggle. I mean, this has been a hard year for finances. But you can't know where you're going if you don't know where you're at. So evaluate yourself on your finances. How are your credit cards doing? Most of us carry so much credit card debt. So are you carrying a lot of credit card debt? Where are you at on your savings? Dave Ramsey tells us we should have an emergency fund that could last us for about 6 months. How's your emergency fund doing? Do you have 6 months of emergency money set aside that you don't touch in case you needed it for a layoff or an illness or something like that? If not, now is the time. I mean, we've all seen all of a sudden this year that it's possible that you would need that 6 months, right? If you got suddenly laid off or suddenly ill and couldn't go to work. So do you have your 6-month emergency fund? Do you have retirement savings? Are you planning for your retirement? I mean, I am actively planning for my retirement. At my age, that's what you do. But man, I wish I'd started 20 years ago thinking about that, because it would be so much better now than I am at. So are you where you need to be with your retirement? Are you diversified in your finances? Do you have everything in risky investments in the stock market? Or are you diversified so you're kind of hedging all of those bets in all of those different areas? Where are you at on your finances? Do you have more money at the end of the month or more month at the end of the money? So evaluate yourself and give yourself a score on a scale of 1 to 10 as to where you're at with your finances. And think about, be honest with yourself, be honest. If you don't have that emergency fund, if you're up to your eyeballs in credit card debt, if even with all of that, if you still have month left at the end of your money, then, we know that you need to look at making some changes in your finance department. Third, your family. Family to me has been so much more important this year than I think ever before. Not that it wasn't important ever before, but I think it's just really come into focus for me. So whether your family is little bitty, you have a couple of people that are in your family, or maybe you're somebody that is fortunate to have a great big family. Where are you at on your family scale? Are you spending enough time with your close family that you need to spend? Do you have a good positive relationship with your family? Are there certain members of your family that are toxic and that maybe you don't need to have influence with them as much as you do? Where are you at on this family spoke? Fourth, field or career. So again, I think this is a place where, we really, to me, the field and career spoke is really in focus this year. I think with so many people getting laid off and businesses struggling and so many businesses closing, so many restaurants closing, waiters and waitresses in the service industry are struggling. There's just so much struggle going on in the career industry. So this is a time where you can really do some self-evaluation in that. I'm a firm believer that whenever the chips are down, that's the best time to refocus and reevaluate where you're going. because there's always opportunity. In any economy, no matter how good or how bad, there's always opportunity. I bet if we talked in person right now, like we were supposed to be in Dallas, you could tell me of somebody or a business that you know that is really having success in this economy. And I'm sure we could all share stories about several people that we know or several businesses that we know that really have struggled. Where are you at with your field or your career? Are you in a place where you hate your job? You know, there is a significant number of people in this world that hate their job. In America, the statistics are staggering for the number of people who hate their job. And going back to that family spoke, I mean, I'm in the family business, right? And so I see people that don't want to be married anymore. And they go to a job they hate to go home to a family situation that they wish was different. So basically having misery in all of those areas. If you're in a job that you hate, now is the time to start thinking about how to fix that. Is it a matter of perspective of finding things in your current job to be grateful for? Or do you want to look at something else? Do you have some burning, passionate desire to do something else? Maybe you want to be an entrepreneur. Maybe you want to own your own business. Maybe you want to do network marketing and also own your own business. That's what network marketing is, but on a much smaller and more individually controllable scale. Or do you wish to get a degree in something else so you can change jobs? Whatever that is, evaluate where you're at right now on a scale of 1 to 10. Your career satisfaction, career fulfillment, career growth. Are you growing in your field? And give yourself that very honest evaluation on a scale of 1 to 10. Faith is next. Where are you at in your faith? You know, I'm a firm believer that I don't hold all the answers to every faith question that exists in the world. And I think there's a lot of room in all of the universe for there to be a lot of different opinions. So I'm not trying to tell you you have to believe in any one particular thing, but what is it that you believe? Do you believe in something outside of yourself? Do you believe in the karmic power of the universe? Do you believe in the one God? Do you believe in a different religion? What is the religion? What is the faith that you have that you believe in? And are you walking in that faith? Are you living true to your belief system, to your integrity? Things that you believe in your core are important. Are you living according to those morals and guidelines and basic rules that you have for yourself? Where are you at on your faith scale? Give yourself a score of 1 to 10. All right, 6th, friends. Do you have enough friends? I mean, it's so hard right now in a pandemic to maintain friendships. Like, how do we maintain friendships? Getting on a Zoom call? I mean, it's just struggling, you know, to call somebody. I mean, I don't know about you, but at work, I talk on the phone so much. When I leave work, I'm just not really in a mood to talk on the phone anymore. But if I don't call some of my girlfriends, then I'm going to lose touch. You know, do you text? Do you call? Do you get on a Zoom call? Do you FaceTime? You know, do you just keep up on Facebook even? But how are you keeping up with your friends? Friends are so important, especially for us women when we get a little bit older and the kids are gone. You know, we've got to have those girlfriends. When you get up into advanced years, one of the keys to health is your socialization. So having friends is important to your long-term health and your longevity. Just living a good, solid, meaningful life. Friends are so important. So where are you at on your friend scale? Are you happy with the friends? Are you happy with the circle that you have that's influencing you? Are they lifting you up and pouring into you and helping you to be a better you? Are they encouraging you to do the things that you have a passion for? Or Do you have some friends that are in the toxic category that bring you down, that are negative Nellies, that tell you you can't achieve certain things? Where is your friend scale? Give yourself a score of 1 to 10. Are you a good friend? That's another way to look at it. Are you a good friend to your friends? And are they good friends to you? And then the 7th one, fun. Now, it's really easy with the heaviness of the world and the heaviness of current events to not have fun. But we still have to have fun. I mean, if we don't laugh and have lightness in our time, then we are just going to be super soaked in all the depressing things that are happening every day. So how are you finding a way to laugh every day? Maybe it's a joke of the day. Maybe you subscribe to a joke of the day email and then go share that with your coworkers, or share it on Facebook with your friends. Maybe you get outside and play with your kiddos as soon as you get home from work and throw the ball around and laugh and be childlike. What is your source of fun? Where do you find lightness and laughter and peace in your day? I mean, honestly, fun sometimes for me is a hammock and a good book on a beautiful day with a glass of sweet iced tea, because I'm in the South, curled up and reading. Maybe that's fun. Whatever it is that you think is fun, where are you now on working fun into your day? Are you doing a pretty good job of it? Or are you letting the world and current events and life get you down and not really having any fun? Give yourself a score on a scale of 1 to 10 as to where you are at on your fun scale. Now, what I want you to do is to look at this in a circle, like the wheel of life with spokes, with 7 spokes, and plot out. If you're a 10 on something, you're going to be way up here close to the rim. If you're a 1 on something, you're going to be close to the center. But plot it out and look at, if you drew a circle in your numbers, would your circle be balanced? Or would it look like a tire with a problem? I mean, maybe your tire has a little bit of a ding in it on a couple of those spokes. And so your tire doesn't roll very smoothly down the road of life. That's okay, because you can't know what you need to work on until you evaluate that where you are now. Even if some of those spokes need work, it's better to know than to not know. A friend of mine calls it doing the ostrich dance, when you stick your head in the sand and you wiggle your rear, and you call it dancing. So we don't want to do the ostrich dance. We want to be fully aware of where we're at right now so that we can take action to know what we need to work on. Now, it's unrealistic going forward to ever think that you're going to be rocking solid 10s on every single spoke. I mean, if we were doing that, if we were rocking solid 10s on every area of life, I mean, we'd live in utopia. I mean, that's just not how life is. I mean, life throws us curveballs. We know that. Hashtag 2020, right? Hashtag 2020. Life throws us curveballs. I mean, life, you may be soaring on one area. Maybe your career is just going great guns, but then all of a sudden you have a health problem and your health and fitness scale is in the toilet. So, whatever that is, whatever that looks like right now for you, don't beat yourself up about it. Don't be down because you have a couple of things or several things that aren't rocking those 10s. It's okay. It's all right. That's life. So step 3 is, where do you want to go? Where do you want to be? And again, we're going to look at those 7 areas of life. What I want you to do here is set up 3 goals in each area. 3 goals in each area to think about, if you could fast forward 12 months from now, where would you be on each of those 7 areas? What would you have achieved 12 months from now when you look in that rearview mirror? What is it that you would achieve? Now here, we are looking at the front window of the car. Remember, the front window of the car is big and the rearview mirror is small. So we are focused fully on that front window of the car. Where are we going? Now, let's start with fitness and health. Where 12 months from now do you want to be? Now, be realistic. I mean, be realistic with this. Don't take on more than you know you can handle just to set yourself up for failure. So what would be your 3 goals that if you could fast forward 12 months from now that you would actually achieve? Maybe it's losing some weight. I mean, we know if we had this discussion on January 1st of every year, the number 1 goal that people set is to lose some weight. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's to eat healthier. Maybe it's to go get your physical exams done that you know you've been putting off. Whatever those 3 things are for you, I want you to set those 3 goals. Now, a little bit of goal setting. You have to set goals that are relevant and timely and specific, right? So they call them SMART goals: specific and measurable, right? We've got to be able to measure them and to be specific, and they have to be oriented to time and relevance, okay? So, you know, it's one thing to say, I want to lose weight. It's another thing to say, I want to lose 20 pounds by next year. And it's even another thing to say, I want to lose a pound a month because I think I can do that and still live the rest of my life on this wheel. A pound a month between now and then, or a pound a week. That's probably not achievable. You see what I'm saying? So think about your goals in terms of being specific and measurable and time-based. So time-based, so a pound a month, or every day I'm going to do X. So that you have a realistic chance. Because the thing that just always gets you down is if last year you set some goals and this year you didn't achieve them. So let's set some measurable goals that you have the chance of achieving. So fitness. What 3 things would you do in the next year with your fitness and health? For me, at the beginning of this year of 2020, one of those things was to get right with my doctors. I had been busy in work and neglecting all of those medical appointments that we all know we need. And I'm a 50-year-old woman, so there's a few that get added to the list, right? So what, you know, maybe that's your goal. I mean, for me, my goal in 2020 was to get right with the doctors. And I ended up having to have a surgery, an emergency surgery, because when I got right with the doctors, we found out there was some stuff going on. So better to know than not know, but maybe that's your goal. Maybe your goal is to eat more healthy. Maybe it's just to simply eat more vegetables or eat more protein or drink a protein shake every day. Maybe your goal is movement. Maybe you have some specific physical fitness goals that you want to achieve. One of my goals was for 2020 that I set at the beginning of the year was that I wanted to complete a 10K this year. Now, understand, in years past, I've done plenty of 5Ks and 10Ks. I completed a half marathon, but you know, in recent years, that's really gotten away from me. So for 2020, what was important to me was to be able to train and complete a 10K. Well, then along comes 2020, and what happened with 2020? They've canceled all of our events, so I couldn't go and compete in a 10K event, and it went virtual. The one that I wanted to do was supposed to happen in September, but they went virtual, kind of like this went virtual. So today I'm proud to say that I went and did my 10K this morning, and I'm still standing here talking to you guys. So I was able to check mark that box of one of my 2020 goals. But what are those goals? Finances. What are the 3 goals that you would set? Maybe it's paying off your car. Maybe it's paying off your credit card debt. Maybe it's just accumulating enough money to fund that emergency fund. Or maybe you have more month left over at the end of your money and you need to start a side hustle that makes money, or get a part-time job, or reduce your expenses. There's lots of things that can be finance goals. What are your 3 finance goals for the next 12 months? Family. What would be 3 goals that you would set with your family spoke? Is it to maybe dedicate some specific time every week to spend with your family? Maybe it's to call your mom once a week. Maybe you set aside some time on Sunday afternoon to call your mom and have a longer chat with your mom. My mom passed away about 10 years ago, and I would give anything to be able to make that a goal. If your mom is still around, please do that. Please make that one of your goals, just for me. What 3 goals would you set as it relates to your field, your profession, the thing that you get up every day to do? What are 3 goals? Maybe you want to pursue some education. Maybe you want to improve your skills. Maybe you want to change jobs, start a side hustle, start a network marketing business. What are those 3 goals that 12 months from now you could achieve? Faith. What are some goals that you could have with regard to faith? Meditate, prayer, go to church. What are some things that you could read that would help your faith goals? Set 3 goals with regard to your faith. Friends. Set 3 goals with regard to friends. I mean, right now it's so hard. Do you want to do a Zoom call even once a month with your girlfriends? Do you want to make a point to call somebody, call your friends, maybe while you're driving to work or taking the train? And then fun. Lastly, this one is always hard for me because I get so wrapped up in work and all the other things of life that I forget to have fun. So can you set aside some specific goals for fun? Set 3 of them, 3 goals. Laugh every day. Come up with a joke every day. Find something humorous in your day. What are 3 things that you can do to bring light and levity to your existence? Now, once you've got 3 goals in the 7 areas, you've got 21 goals, and you're going, Michelle, I can't possibly achieve 21 goals. How can I even know what to focus on? Well, you're right. What I want you to do now is pick 7, just 7 of those. Not that you're eliminating the other 14, but I want you to pick 7 out of the 21 that are the things that you're really going to focus on. Now, for those of you out there who are a little technical, you don't have to pick one in each area. These are your goals. You get to make the rules. You can decide how you're going to do it. You might pick all 3 of the goals that you set in your fitness area and none of the goals in your family area. That's okay. It's your world. We just live here. So I want you to pick 7 goals that you're really going to focus on and write those down. And those are the ones that you're really going to think about achievement for the next 12 months. Don't put away the list of the other 14. We're still going to work on those, but we're going to hyper focus on 7. Now, step 4, in the few minutes I have left, how do you get there? It's fine to have goals, but goals without a plan are dreams. So what is the plan for action? I have a friend of mine that goes, take massive action. And that's what we need to do to achieve those 21 goals that you've now set. So when you get a year from now, 12 months down the road, and you look in your rearview mirror, you're not living with regret. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to spend a few minutes every morning, just a few minutes. And I want you to think about, I don't know about you, but every morning I write down the to-do list for me, and I write down my husband's to-do list. And, and it's going to have things like pay the bills and go to the grocery store and do the laundry, all the mundane things of life. So when you're doing that, I also want you to write down just 3 things 3 baby steps, 3 teeny tiny little baby steps that you could do in that one 24-hour period that would get you closer to one of your goals, or 2 of your goals, or 3 of your goals. 3 baby steps. Maybe it's making a phone call. Maybe it's looking something up on Google when you're watching TV at night to research what you need to do to achieve one of your goals. Maybe it's ordering that book on Amazon that'll teach you about money. Maybe you need to read a Dave Ramsey book. Write down every morning 3 baby steps that you could take in the midst of all of the mundane to-do lists that you know you have every day. And then I want you to set about in your 24 hours doing all of your mundane things, but prioritize these 3 baby steps. Because I think what you're going to find is that when you focus on, I'm going to do my daily tasks, but I'm going to intentionally set about every day and do these 3 little things every day. And they're going to be different every day. So you're going to achieve 3 things every day that are baby steps toward that goal. And then when you get a week down, you're going to look back and say, oh my gosh, look at all these things I achieved toward my goals. And when you get a month down and 6 months down, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, all these little 3 baby steps every day have amounted to a lot of effort and progress toward my goals. So that is how you get there. You set these goals and you come up with 3 baby steps every day to achieve your goals. So in review, where have you been? Look in that rear view mirror and do a self-assessment of your last 12 months. Evaluate the good things and the bad things and the people and the things that have influenced you for the last 12 months. And then do an evaluation of where you are now in the 7 areas of life: fitness and health, finances, family, field, career, faith, friends, and fun. And do a self-assessment. Rate yourself, come up with your spokes on that wheel. Then look at those same 7 areas and say, where do I want to go? Where do I want to be 12 months from now in these 7 areas? And set 3 goals each, and then narrow that down to 7. Just 7 things that you're going to focus on. And then come up every day with a plan of attack of 3 things that you can do every day toward achieving some of those goals. And then next year, when you look in your rearview mirror, you're going to say, I did great on some of this. Maybe some of it you aren't going to achieve. That's okay too. Don't beat yourself up. It's okay. You've got next year. So look in your rearview mirror in a year, and you're going to see all of these things that you achieve by living with intent and purpose. Every day, get up and intentionally come up with the 3 things you can do today to make progress to those goals. And next year, you'll find that you lived a life by design, maximizing your 86,400 seconds every day.
Hi, I'm Bernardo Moya, founder of The Best You. Are you a motivational speaker, an author, a therapist, a coach, or a business guru trying to raise your profile and reach a global audience? At The Best You, we've been building our brand for many years, helping those in the world of personal development get their message out there. The Best You Expos, The Best You magazine, and The Best You online. And now we're looking to grow our community even more. We've recently launched The Best You TV, available on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and Google Play. So now by partnering with us, you can get your show on The Best You TV, you can contribute to The Best You magazine, add your courses to The Best You online, and join us at one of the Best You virtual expos happening around the world. Expand your brand and join a growing community that believes that everyone deserves a life without limits.
Welcome back, and thank you, Michelle O'Neill. Wow, isn't she amazing? I just love the way she combines the legal side, and she has all that knowledge, but also with the compassion and the advice. And baby steps. Yeah, I mean, I love that. Breaking down your goals into baby steps, because that makes them actually happen. You know, Bernardo and I were talking at the beginning. If you saw us at the beginning when we were talking about how taking some action, even if you just take one tiny bit of action from today, it will make a massive difference to your life. So I love Michelle O'Neill. Thanks, Michelle, for being here and being part of the Best You. And I hope you all really enjoyed what she had to say. Now we are going to run some adverts for you. Now, the first one is about one of the men in personal development that I most admire, Richard Bandler. He is the founder of NLP, and this man completely changed my life, because when I learned about NLP and I studied with him, and you know, Best You do run his training programs as well, so check those out. He changed my life, because teaching me NLP really took the blinkers off and showed me what is possible, and it can do the same for you too. So listen up to Richard, he's amazing. And then also following that is Michael Neal, another friend of mine. I love him to pieces. Michael is one of the world's most incredible success coaches. He talks about so many different areas of your life. He's such a down-to-earth guy, and you know, he became a coach over years and years of hardship, and he decided he wasn't going to settle for that, and he turned his life around. So a truly inspirational story. So we're going to run some ads, and then I will see you to welcome you, our next speaker, Louise Moore, to the stage.
Don't create big companies without tremendous tenacity. And it doesn't surprise me when you tell me somebody like Richard Branson swims around his island in circles, just to know that he can, is because he's a very determined guy. He's done tremendously well at everything he's started. That doesn't mean it was easy. It doesn't mean that people didn't tell him he couldn't. Oh, you can't start your own record company. You can't start your own airline. You can't this. But most of the really successful people who have achieved a lot in life, when they hear that kind of stuff, something inside them goes, oh, yeah? Well, watch this. And young people need to have more of that. They can't just expect to pop out of college, have somebody give them a job, and it lasts their whole life. There was a time in history where that pretty much happened.
It's a different world now.
Yeah, well, it's a different world, for better or for worse. It's the one we've got. And people better learn to adapt to what is. Otherwise, things are not going to work out so well. You know, there are people that had jobs most of their lives and suddenly became unemployed. And, they had expected, they made deals with these companies. I'm going to stay there. I'm going to retire. You're going to support me for the rest of my life. And when it didn't work out, and the companies went bankrupt and disappeared, they may be angry and they may know who to blame. But things aren't going to get better till they adapt somehow. And you better plan to adapt ahead of time. Better you get ahead of the curve than let it smack you in the head.
It doesn't matter how talented you are. If you don't have self-belief, you're not going to get anywhere. If you have extraordinary self-belief, very little talent, you can get everywhere. But if you have both, if you have talent and belief, it will actually make you unstoppable. Now, I work with a lot of football teams and a lot of football players, and a lot of those footballers come out of school at 14. They know they're going to be famous players. They don't really pursue an education. A lot of them have an extraordinary negative self-belief because they're only good at sport, which is a great shame. And one of my players at the moment has now become a fantastic commentator, but I do a lot of work with him to put in him that belief, because he wasn't great at spelling and he wasn't great at school because he knew he was going to be a footballer. So belief without talent will take you far further than talent without belief. But if you have both, you can go far. But everyone can learn self-belief. Everyone's good at something. You're not meant to be good at everything. It's no good being a jack of all trades and a master of none. So be really good at what you're good at, and don't worry about what you're not good at, because we're not all supposed to be good at the same thing. Find your talent, find out what you love to do. What you're meant to do lies directly behind and is absolutely linked to what you love to do. When I was a kid, actually, I loved writing little stories and illustrating them. And it's funny that now I am a very successful writer, because I was always writing when I was a kid, but I never considered that as a career. But it kind of found me later. My daughter was always drawing and always, in fact, she went to college to be a criminologist and then gave that up and became an artist because it's what she was meant to do. So find out what you love and be brilliant at it and believe in yourself.
To make sure that all these wonderful teachings they get from the self-development teachers, then when they would go home, that it really starts anchoring into their life. So it's not just an aha moment in a workshop, but or an aha moment when they do coaching or mentoring, but that their environment is supporting them, because that's where I see the missing link in a lot of the human potential movement. Like they go from one workshop to another, but they're never integrating, they're never anchoring it in the environment where they live. And so that's my contribution most of the time when people come to see me, is like they're going to look into their home and saying, okay, on my office, this is what I want as a new thinking, this is how I want as a new vision, but is my environment reflecting what I want? Because it's about 87 to 90%, everything is subconscious. So your environment is giving you subconsciously messages all the time. Yeah. So it's giving you messages of success and money, relationships, health, wisdom. Like yesterday evening, I was in somebody's apartment, and their relationship is not going so well. And they're like, so I come into the bedroom. I mean, there's nothing from even a picture of both, of the couple. It was just an image of a lonely cow, actually. It was a cow, a lonely cow. And I'm thinking, all right, this is not going to give you romance, right? Yeah. In an office, for example, I would definitely put the logo of your company. I would put, if you have products or services, you can put them there or hang them there as the flyers, the business cards. So whatever is there needs to be 24 hours a day telling you, this is my success, your goals, your vision board.
I think schools should put half their curriculum should be self-belief. We know that in countries like America, where they really teach children to believe in themselves, it doesn't work across the board, but it works. We know that in schools like Montessori, where they teach self-belief, it works. And, our schools spend so much time on things like handwriting and languages, and they're very useful. But nothing is as useful as self-belief. And we also know that you only learn for 3 hours a day. You can have an 8-hour day, but you're going to learn in 3 hours. That's it. So you should put a lot more time into making children believe in themselves, and also goals. The very few schools that teach goal achieving find that children really like it. And the statistics go way, way up. So I would love every school curriculum to teach goal setting, goal achieving, and self-belief and self-confidence, because self-esteem means how much you like yourself. But when you like yourself, you also like other people too. You can't like yourself and not like other people. There's a lot of violence and aggression would end if we could just learn how to like ourselves and other people rather than feel dissatisfied with ourselves, which means, of course, you're dissatisfied with someone else. Because if you don't like yourself and you feel dissatisfied, you want everyone around you to be like that too, and then you feel a bit better because you're in the same company. If you don't feel very good and everyone around you is happy, then what people do is they tend to try and diminish everyone else or elevate themselves. But you can't elevate yourself if you don't like yourself. So a lot of the issues we have in schools, the violence, the truanting, the not achieving, could be cut in half if you just taught children to really like themselves and to have self-esteem. One of my favorite things is to make people believe that they're enough. As I said, I work with people who have eating problems, shoplifting problems, shopping problems, phobia problems. And most people wake up and they think, I'm not enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not rich enough. I'm not talented enough. And, we live in a world where people are always trying to buy stuff because they don't feel enough. They need trainers and the latest brand because they don't feel enough. When you wake up every day and say, I'm enough, I am enough, all that stuff goes away. And of course, you can't say it once, you have to say it over and over again. So what I love is to write that on your screensaver, write it on your mirror, write it on your phone. And if you wake up every day and say, I'm enough, I know maybe I'm not rich, but I'm still enough. Okay, I'm not a size 10, I'm still enough. I don't have loads of cash, I'm still enough. As you begin to believe that you're enough, that you're good enough and lovable enough, all of the other stuff goes away. So That's my favorite thing to teach. I teach that to depressed people all the time because they never feel enough, that you're enough, that you're lovable just the way you are. It doesn't mean you can't make the best of yourself, but you're lovable. Believe in yourself because no one else can believe in you if you don't believe in you.
Absolutely.
If your theory tells you something is impossible and you don't look beyond it, you don't get that thing, not what stops me, but what would happen if I did, then you get to go into the future and look backwards and start to see what needs to be created, what needs to be asked, what needs to be done, what you need to try in order to get to the other side. And, there are obstacles in life. And when the obstacles get there, that means you need to try something else and you need to become more determined.
Are you sick and tired of struggling to get your career to where you want it to be? Working with the right coach can be a life-changing experience, and Bernardo Moya is changing lives all over the world. Learn how to create revenue streams, attract higher qualified clients consistently, market your brand, and promote your business to a global audience. Bernardo is one of the biggest names in the world of personal development. He is an entrepreneur, an author, a speaker, and a founder and chief inspirational officer of the Best You Corporation. So fast track your career now. The Best You TV, a TV channel with only the best business leaders and influencers ready to help you rise to the top. Available now on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and Google Play. Are you in the personal development world trying to reach a larger audience? Are you a motivational speaker, an author, therapist, coach, or business guru tired of pushing out content with little results? Gain more clients and expand your business today. Get your show or content on the Best You TV.
I was watching a DVD of Sid Banks, who's a Scottish welder who got enlightened and was sort of the philosopher behind what I do. And he just said something so simple that I'd heard before. But he said, every human being has innate mental health. And I was drinking a beer while he said it, and I, like out the nose. I don't know why, but I heard him. I got that was true even about me. And that was that moment I talked about at the beginning where I went, oh, I've spent all this time trying to not be depressed. And my second book, I was literally 10 days away from going out on tour to promote it, which was all about how to do stuff to handle your depression. And I suddenly saw beyond a shadow of a doubt, I was born happy. We were all, no, babies don't need therapy. We learn to be unhappy. And the truth is, the second we stop thinking the way that we've learned to think, we're right back to the default. That was both the best news I had ever had, because it meant I wasn't damaged and didn't need fixing. It was more like waking up from a dream. Like even if you have a nightmare, you don't have to go back after you wake up and fix what happened in it. I just woke up. And it was terrible because I was about to be on a book tour promoting something that I could now see was fundamentally incorrect. So I got through that. But I was never the same and my work was never the same because I could never look at somebody and see them as broken anymore. And I'd paid lip service to that. I mean, I'd said, oh yeah, you're not broken, you just have bad programming. But I hadn't seen how fundamental it was in me that I was broken and how fundamental it is in so many of us that, well, yeah, we can become higher and higher functioning, but underneath it all, it's still pretty turmoil, still pretty messed up. And I don't have a better word for it than blessing and grace. It was a blessing. It was grace to have that taken away from me, to see that wasn't real. And what was beautiful about it was because it didn't come through a particular religious practice, I was able to talk to anyone about it. I didn't have to say, join this religion and then it will be taken off you. Because obviously we've heard stories like that. It was just through a deeper understanding of the mind. And I've just been committed to that work ever since. And the new book, The Inside Out Revolution, that's my first real attempt at going full out. Like Super Coach, I talked about what I'd learned from it in a way. In this book, I've just shared what it is I saw. And I hope, well, I know actually, because it's already happening, that other people will get to have that same experience.
Are you sick and tired of struggling to get your career to where you want it to be? Working with the right coach can be a life-changing experience, and Bernardo Moya is changing lives all over the world. Learn how to create revenue streams, attract higher qualified clients consistently, market your brand, and promote your business to a global audience. Bernardo is one of the biggest names in the world of personal development. He is an entrepreneur, an author, a speaker, and a founder and chief inspirational officer of the Best You Corporation. So fast track your career now. The Best You Store, helping you do more, achieve more, be more. Store.thebestyou.co